Well, Mr. President, last month I came to celebrate your winning and promised that we will invest $100 billion. And you told me, oh, Masa, go for 200. Yeah. Now I came back with 500. As you said yesterday, this is the beginning of golden age of America. This is one great example, I think. Right?
It was more than a no. It was a signal. A blueprint. When Japan drew a hard line with Washington, it didn't just reject a set of terms. It pushed back against half a century of expectation. The expectation of obedience. But in the halls of power from Riyadh to New Delhi, from Abu Dhabi to Brasilia, something else echoed. Not the sound of a door slamming shut. The sound of a key turning in a lock. A new lock on a new door. What if Japan's defiance wasn't an exception? What if it was the first public chapter of a playbook a lot of capitals have quietly been writing for years? Forget the old map. The one drawn in Washington. The one where allies align on security and their economies fall in line afterward.
We wouldn't have decided unless you won. And yesterday we agreed, we signed to make this happen.
Great.
Because of this thing.
Very nice.
So we would make this happen. We would immediately start deploying $100 billion with the goal of making $500 billion within next 4 years, within your term. Right? Because of your success.
But a new map is being drawn in sovereign capitals. And the new cartography rests on a simple principle: integrated defense. Sovereign economics. Japan is the clearest illustration. It has deepened military ties with the United States, more joint exercises, tighter interoperability, and a pledge to raise defense spending toward 2% of GDP in line with NATO benchmarks. But when the conversation moved from bases and drills to who controls Japan's capital, Tokyo's answer was different. Japan's state lender, the Japan Bank for International Cooperation, JBIC, has long been the tool Tokyo uses to steer strategic investments on its own terms. JBIC's public mandate is explicit. It finances projects that serve Japan's national interest, from energy security to industrial supply chains. In other words, alliance? Yes. Control over our money? No. JBIC keeps the keys isn't a slogan, it's a policy architecture. Our money. Our choice. Our pace. That is the Tokyo Playbook. And its disciples are already emerging. Look to the Gulf. To Riyadh and Abu Dhabi. For decades, the script there was simple: oil for security. Petrodollars recycled into Western markets, security guarantees recycled back. Today, their leverage sits in something else: sovereign wealth. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund now manages on the order of $1 trillion in assets after years of rapid growth under Vision 2030, according to Global Sovereign Wealth Funds, SWF, and Saudi Arabia's public investment funds, PIF, own reporting. Mubadala in Abu Dhabi manages roughly $370 billion and has been described by Global SWF and the Financial Times as one of the world's most active sovereign investors, with a particular focus on AI, advanced manufacturing, and private equity. These are not just savings accounts. They are weapons of mass negotiation. And the proof is in the policy. When Washington or any other capital demands alignment, the answer is no longer just yes or no. The answer is a counteroffer. We'll invest. We'll partner. But on our terms. Saudi economic policy documents talk openly about local content and technology transfer as conditions for major projects, using foreign capital and know-how to build domestic capability, not permanent dependency. The UAE's industrial and AI strategies put it bluntly. Abu Dhabi and Dubai intend to become hubs for advanced technology and artificial intelligence, not just consumers of it, with the UAE's AI strategy aiming to make AI a central pillar of the economy by 2031. They are still in the U.S. economic and security orbit, but they are building their own gravitational pull around capital, technology, and data. They've absorbed the core lesson: why rent your future when you can build it? And then there is the country that arguably wrote this playbook before anyone gave it a name: India. For years, Western commentators described India's foreign policy as strategic autonomy, a polite way of saying New Delhi doesn't fully align with anyone. Difficult. Unreliable. Hedging. Those were the labels. Look at the pattern instead. India buys discounted Russian oil. Its imports of Russian crude jumped more than tenfold in value after 2022, according to trade analyses and energy research groups. It deepens defense and technology cooperation with the United States and its allies, joining groupings like the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, Quad, and expanding joint exercises in the Indo-Pacific. Quad is a strategic partnership between the United States, Japan, India, and Australia, focused on promoting a free, open, and secure Indo-Pacific region. India takes Japanese and European investment into infrastructure and manufacturing. Its allegiance is not to a flag. It's to a future, a self-interested sovereign future. It was practicing post-obedience before the word even existed. Allies where it makes sense. Buyers where it's cheap. Sellers where it's profitable. Proof that you can operate between superpowers without becoming anyone's permanent client. And in the Amazon, you see another kind of leverage. Brazil's power isn't only in GDP charts. It's in its ecosystems, its forests, rivers, and the carbon they lock away. President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has repeatedly framed the Amazon as both a global responsibility and a matter of national sovereignty. In launching the Amazon Security and Sovereignty Plan, his government explicitly tied forest protection to defending Brazil's territorial and economic interests. At the same time, Brazil is pushing new financing mechanisms like the Tropical Forests Forever facility, which would pay countries to keep forests standing on terms they help design. The message is simple. You want us to protect the Amazon? Then we negotiate the terms. You will respect our sovereignty. You will not dictate our development path. That is ecological leverage turned into geopolitical leverage, another chapter in the same playbook. Put these pieces together, and a picture emerges. The old question was, are you with Washington or with Beijing? The new question is, what is the price of your partnership? The Tokyo Playbook offers an answer. The price is respect. The price is shared control. The price is a seat at the table, not just a place on the menu. This is what the structural end of the unipolar moment looks like. Not with a bang, but with a renegotiation. Clause by clause. Deal by deal. Fund by fund. The 21st century will not be a neat duopoly. It will be an arena of swing sovereigns, nations that are allies by choice, not by decree. They will integrate in defense when it suits them, diversify in economics when it protects them, and insist that capital and development remain under their own hands. Japan handed the world a key. You can stay inside the alliance and still say no to someone else's hand on your wallet. Now from the Gulf's sovereign funds to India's oil calculus and Brazil's forest diplomacy, everyone is learning to turn that lock. If this is the future you see coming, subscribe. We're just getting started. This is Liberation Lens. And perspective has never mattered more.